Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't for me again. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You that chop line and a resort to crime. You can't for me again.
What we gonna do the money, what we at you, in no at you. Covid money, me say we either you look or at you. Use the youth, them money, base for most of my statue. Say me like a catch you, but they got enough, they got you. Take this bit of money, God, and say that is not you. On the head, the man above them, the man got up. But it in the kitchen, some of my well like a part two. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile up the day.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption please.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out the beach.
Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't for me again. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You that chop line and a resort to crime. You can't for me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the giver. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The already promises none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rap and they down in our favor. Member bowl only and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police dog a market like Satan out of hell go mash up. People start that thief when them sell.
It burn me.
On the TV market man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
On them treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
On them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
On them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
How them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
How them a treat everyone.
Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't for me again.
Good night. Good night. Thank you all for joining us. Welcome to our coverage of the first of the national debate starting this evening with social issues. 2-party, 1 manifesto. We will await until the debate started, but we're just here to have a little bit of chitter-chatter with you until the debate gets on the way. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all for joining us, YouTube and TikTok. Welcome, one and all. Lovely to have your support. I didn't even remember that I'm not going to be resting this weekend because tonight is a national debate. Tomorrow is Central Jamaica People's National Party rally. So it is a busy bank holiday weekend for myself with all these coverage. But tonight should be an exciting start to the debates because we have 2 parties and 1 manifesto. So let's see how they will make their way around questioning on 1 manifesto and then possible questioning on 1 achievement. We hope, whatever that possibly may be. But they should get on the way in about another half an hour or so. For TikTok viewers, as soon as the debate comes live, we will turn the lighting down so you can have a better view from the projectors. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. What are you hoping? What are the questions on the social issues that you are hoping that the panelists will put to both parties? And which party, for that matter, do you think or are you hoping to come out as the debate winner tonight? So we're monitoring the Jamaica Debating Commission, and as soon as they get on the way, then we will go silent and let the debate continue with itself. Bear with me. It keeps knocking me out. We'll have our monitoring screen up there. We're also monitoring on TikTok as well. But as soon as they go live in the next 25 minutes or so, we will definitely go silent and observe what is going on tonight. Debbie Jarvis TV, good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Pauline Dixon, good evening. Marcia Thomas, good evening. Good evening. Sharon Bernard, good evening. Robert Norman Ferguson, good evening. Who else is here? Gloria Marks, good evening. Sunshine, Jamrock 8766, good evening. Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson, good evening. Lyndon Green, good evening. Susan McIntosh, Florence Williams, Robert Honeywell, good evening. Arlene Forrest, good evening. Good evening and welcome to everyone. Pauline McEnnis, good evening. Laverne, good evening. Good evening, Miranda Roddick, good evening. Who else is here? TikTok, good evening. Cousin Candies, good evening. Is it Kathleen? Patience, Cherry, and of course, Debbie Jarvis. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. We are like and share the live for us, please. So kind of know people not expect me on tonight to let everyone know that we're covering the debate. Daily Fun, good evening and welcome. We're covering the national debate tonight. And I don't know what to expect from the Jamaica Labour Party or what sort of questions will be put to the Jamaica Labour Party in particular. Violet Watson, good evening. Or will they be just hobnobbing about the place, given that they're not going to be facing questions in this debate from their manifesto? We assume they will be answering questions on their achievement. What that is, they will have to answer. We're not quite sure. Cousin Myrna, good evening and welcome. But I think it's very unfair, unfortunate that we're going into a political debate and the incumbent government has not yet put out a manifesto. And I must add, the incumbent government will not be putting out a manifesto. Shani, good evening. Because what they will be releasing tomorrow night, Keith Matthews, will be just noise. It literally won't be more than that. Ladybug, how are you? The government tomorrow will unveil a pack of noise because they know that their audience will not be reading their manifesto. Rennie Nicholson. They are going to do it in a shouting match. Pretty much it's going to be just like what they say on the political campaign. I am confused. Because what that will do, it will force us to dig deeper. If you're interested, God knows I'm not, because if they have failed 2, I can't see the interest in 3. And I think why it's been released in this way, in a load of noise, euphoria, and excitement, is because there's nothing to say, or it's pretty much the same old policies or the same, not stories, alliance stories all over again. So, but it cannot be that the government has an argument or, oh, sorry, I keep calling you Pauline, it's Paulette McKenna, sorry. The government has nothing to offer other than what I think might be a conjuring up of the 2 failed manifestos. And because we're so much used to them, then the government will just regurgitate them to us in a lot of noise. I'm interested to see how the business community, the private sectors and all of those, and the public sector will view this after tomorrow when it is published, because unlike the People's National Party, Young DT Wagwan, unlike the People's National Party who took time to present theirs to the people and give certain explanation, I can't see how that will be done tomorrow night by the Jamaica Labour Party. What would you want to hear? You mean from both party or from the people's? I don't know if I would. Firstly, I don't know if I want to hear anything from the labor rights, because whatever they've promised us in the last 9 years, they have failed miserably on. And because they have not presented a policy paper yet before this debate, I really don't know if I want to hear anything much from them, because I think it will be pretty much a cha from the Jamaica Labour Party. But on the People's National Party, I want to hear a lot on the social justice side of things, how they're going to implement certain policies to deal with the crisis that the disadvantage of society faces, how they're going to rebuild our health care. I possibly would want a timeline from them, but I think it's going to be unfair of me until they come in and assess how long it will take for Cornwall to come to operational completion. I possibly would want to hear something like that from them, but then again, I think it's unfair because they would have to have their assessment after coming in government. A lot of the social issues to do with the disadvantaged community, I want to hear more from the People's National Party on that. I want to hear more on mental health. Do I want to hear anything from the labor rights tonight? I don't know. I really don't know. I want to hear how I want to hear them giving us time scale of how quick we can build the capacity, the bed capacity of our hospitals, how quick they can what you call that word? I'm forgetting the word right now, but how quick they could secure, how quick they can secure things like the diagnostics that we need, ventilators, and so much things. I want to hear a lot on how they're going to address the crisis in the National Health Service, as well as how they are going to implement policies that will benefit the challenged communities, whether be it physical disability, mental health, socially or financially challenged, how they're going to implement policies to advance them. So those are some of the things that I'm expecting to hear tonight, how they're going to develop communities. What are their plans for developing communities socially in relation, particularly to tackle crime and violence within community. The Portia Simpson government did have I can't remember what it is now, have one of those community initiative when it comes to do with crime. I would want to hear if they're going back to things like that, dealing with crime at the community level before it gets out of control, where it spirals at a national level. So I'm expecting to hear much tonight on our healthcare, our community, and what they're going to do for the challenged communities. So I'm expecting to hear tonight, but and it's based on the policies, the what they presented to us in the manifesto, why I'm saying this. But when it comes to the Jamaica Labour Party, I cannot, even though it would be painful to believe what anything they say at this point. I just don't know what, because given the state of our healthcare under them, anything they say about investing in the healthcare or whatever, for me, it's just going to be noise. They're going to come and tell us, my nostril is burning me. They're going to come and tell us how they have taken down crime in a year. No other government has taken down crime in 1 year as they have done. But they're coming to us for another 5 years. And regardless of what the Jamaica Labour Party has done or is claiming to have done, they are also coming to us for a new mandate. Therefore, we want to know what your plan is for the next 5 years, which they have not done yet. They said they will be doing it tomorrow, which I personally will not be listening to them, because why do it this way? Even if I was going to listen to them, if they've presented it in a more calmer and collective sense and centered on what they're presenting, I would have listened to them. But in that noise, I would have no interest in Jamaica Labour Party supporters and candidates shouting bad mind and nonsense and all of that. So I don't think anything they say this evening, I will take it with salt at all, because it's just going to be, for me, more of the promises, or more of the we have done a lot, but have we seen a lot that they have done? It's something to listen to when they come on tonight. But I think tonight's debate will be unfair to the People's National Party, because both parties should be able to be should be answering questions rather, and what they're coming to us with for the next 5 years. So I think tonight's debate is Janet Brissett, Arlene Forrest. Tonight's debate is very unbalanced. For me, it's very, very unbalanced. So, Debian, how are you? Honestly, I'm waiting to hear how they fluff their way through the questions. Or, I don't know if, given that they will be releasing their manifesto tomorrow, so it would be ready, I don't know if the debating commission would be privy to what they're going to publish tomorrow, to be able to ask them questions, Beverly Morgan, to be able to ask them questions on what they're bringing forward to the people for the next 5 years. But until they present it, I can't see anything spanking brand new in it. And if this government has spanking brand new ideas, I mean, they wouldn't have a problem in presenting them to us, to be honest with you. So I think there's going to be a great deal of a wool pulled over the nation's eye tomorrow in that manifesto brouhaha. Globalists, me say, me put out one video on TikTok this morning. Andrew become a real rolling calf now. Me not tell no lie. Andrew Michael Holness becomes a real rolling calf on the island. 5 o'clock this morning, me sleep and wake. Andrew still the pan road, you know? Andrew still the pan road. I drop in a pothole in the dark. I couldn't believe that the Prime Minister, yes, St. Mary had gone from Evelyn. I couldn't believe that the Prime Minister, I don't know. I'm beginning to sorry for him now, because this is getting to a level of desperation. Patricia Hutchins, good evening. This is getting to a level of desperation where me don't know how he might go get himself out of it, because he has a task where, why he's so busy around the country, he has damaged so much of the seat. Mark Golden is speaking now. Hold on. He has damaged so much.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Without credibility.
And shadow cabinet members have signed the Integrity Commission's leadership code of conduct. Every single one of us committing to the 7 principles of good governance and international standard. Not one Labourite has signed it. You have to ask why. It can only be because they don't believe in that. When we form government, I'm going to amend the law so that all members of the executive who are part of the government will have to have their Integrity Commission declarations published in summary form, as is the case now for the leader of the opposition, and should be the case for the Prime Minister. But his can't be published because his is not certified, because his thing is not straight. And we are going to amend the gag clause in the Integrity Commission Act, because right now we know that there are 10 or so members of Parliament who are under investigation for corruption, an offense called illicit enrichment. The only one who we know of right now is the Prime Minister himself, because his report came to Parliament. But there are people being asked to vote for persons who might be under investigation and nobody knows. That cannot be right. So we're going to amend the gag clause so there's a better balance between protecting people's reputations and transparency and public information and important issues. Comrades, we have a number of important policies for the workers of this country. First of all, there is this use of contract work, which is being abused in some cases, keeping workers on a string with these short-term contracts that they keep rolling, denying those workers the full raft of benefits that Jamaican employment law is supposed to guarantee. We are going to change that by legislation and by moral suasion as well. And comrades, we want the workers of Jamaica to get a little ease from the cost of living crisis. So we are going to remove tax from overtime pay for all workers in the public sector and the private sector earning under $6 million a year. Security guards, police officers, nurses, firefighters, all workers, when them payday come and they don't get the tax and overtime, they'll have more money in their pocket and life will be a little bit easier under the People's National Party.
And in the tourism industry, the hotel workers, we have been advocating that their tips and their gratuity should not be taxed. Right now, when their tips are collected by the hotel and they get it in their payroll, in their pay at fortnight or monthly, it is taxed. A promise was made by this government to remove it. They haven't done so. The next PNP government is going to deliver for the hotel workers, and their tips and their gratuity will be received without tax. They'll have more money in them pocket when they get paid a month in or fortnightly. We are going to remove tax from people's pension. So the old people, the elderly, the infirm, those who have served a career of service for the nation and now relying on their pension will not have to pay tax on their pension. And we're going to ensure that the necessary arrangements are put in place so that persons who should be receiving their pension get their pension. Because right now, many times, they have to wait for months and years after they retire to start getting their pension. And it's not fair on them. Life is hard on them when they can't get their pension. We have to sort that out, and we will do so. Comrades, you will have heard, I hope, because we've been talking about it all the time, our plan for the students to ensure that the children who sometimes don't attend school because their parents don't have lunch money will no longer have to miss school, because we're going to guarantee a hot, nutritious meal for every needy child at primary school and in secondary school under the EASE program. And for those who struggle to send the children to school because the transportation is too high, we have the RIDE program where we'll be providing a subsidy. 10 for each child. We'll be providing a subsidy, 10,000 per month per child, if we check it out and see that they are struggling with the cost of transportation to reach school. And the money for the feeding program and for the RIDE program will be spent with the farmers and will be spent with the transport operators, so they will benefit as well, and the economy will have more money in it, and people will feel better off, and the children will have an easier time and will be able to learn in school and fulfill their potential. And of course, we have the First in Family Scholarship too, because we believe in education as an antidote to poverty. And I have seen with my eyes children who are bright and have worked hard and done what their parents tell them to do and made their parents proud, keep out of bad company and do well in their exams, get a whole heap of subjects, but they can't cross the financial barrier. Well, we are going to implement the First in Family Scholarship. If you are the first child in your household to have qualified for university or college, you will get a full scholarship under the next PNP government, so that you can pursue your dreams and qualify yourself for a better job and a better life. And we expect you, in turn, to help your brothers and sisters move forward as well.
March, we are march, 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 we are march.
Great ideas can come from anywhere. With Wix,
Yeah, man. But comrades of St. Mary, all of these programs, and we have others too, and I urge you to familiarize yourself with our manifesto and look out for the ads that we're running on TV and in social media, where we take out the different elements of the manifesto and explain them in plain English, in easy Jamaican.
Welcome to the first of 3 political debates organized by the Jamaica Debates Commission and staged before a live studio audience. The debates are intended to assist in identifying, clarifying, and understanding the issues being presented in this general election campaign. This evening's debate focuses on social issues and is a team debate. Members of the panel of questioners are Natalie Campbell, IRI FM, Romardo Lyons, TVJ, and taking and presenting questions from the public is our social media editor, Amoy Harriet, CVM TV. I am your moderator, Janella Precious. As is customary, the audience is prohibited from applauding the debaters, except for now, after we've announced each team. For Team JLP, Matthew Semuda. You can clap. For Team PNP, Raymond Price. Up next is the JLP's Kamina Johnson-Smith. Also joining Team PNP is Sophia Fraser-Binns. And for the JLP, Colonel Charles Jr. And for Team PNP, Damian Crawford. The guidelines for tonight's debates have been previously agreed and are posted on the Debate Commission's website at www.jamaicadebatescommission.com. The guidelines include questions being no longer than 30 seconds and each team being allowed 90 seconds to respond to each question, and rebuttals are limited to 45 seconds. The questions posed in tonight's debate will come from two sources. The first, you, the public. You can send us your questions via direct message on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to Jamaica Debates. These will be checked, selected, and asked by our social media editor. The second source of questions is from our panel of journalists. Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, there will be no interpretation for the deaf and hearing impaired. Now, based on a previous coin toss, the first question tonight comes from Natalie Campbell, and it will be directed to Team PNP.
Good evening. The People's National Party has been highly critical of several Jamaica Labour Party programs, including the rural school bus system. You say you have better options. Which programs have you earmarked for immediate discontinuation, and what timeline are you proposing of replacement programs to ensure continuity of service to Jamaicans?
Good afternoon, good evening, and thank you for that question. Productivity means that there is a balance between effectiveness and efficiency. Effectiveness means doing the right thing, and efficiency means doing the thing right. Indeed, the separation of students from adults and the organized contribution of carrying them to school is a wonderful concept. However, how the JLP intended to execute, I believe, is highly inefficient. First of all, the cost of buses for 300 million based on the information we have received, and then 800 million for the refurbishing of those buses would indicate an inefficient use of resources. Additionally, we have seen where new buses, Toyota buses, coaster buses that could have been used would have been a more appropriate purchase, and that would have been within the same cost. Additionally, the ineffectiveness of these bus system would suggest that very few children would be able to be moved. We have over 440,000 children to be moved, and at this point, those buses will be best capable to move between 4,000 and 8,000 on each day, indicating that the vast majority of children will still not benefit from that program. And so one thing that we'll immediately discontinue is one that doesn't incorporate the principals, the guidance counselors, and be more targeted in ensuring that those who are finding it most difficult to get to school are able to get to school, in particular deep rural children.
Thank you so much. Team JLP, or rebuttal?
Thank you. The Jamaica Labour Party is doing what the PNP has not and cannot do. We want to keep our children safer. And we are using the savings, $1 billion savings from the JUTC, where we have cut theft of diesel and shifted to CNG, to buy 110 new buses at $1.4 billion.
He said new fucking buses.
Parents will save $180,000 per year annually per child, and the children will be safer, greater attendance, they'll be safer at school, cameras,
I hope the
borders,
debaters
why not?
push back on
It's
the word
best
new
for the
box.
country.
Thank you very much. Romardo has the next question, and it will go to Team JLP.
Good evening. Despite the 2025 changes to NHD loan limits and the modifications so more minimum wage earners can qualify for grants, many youngsters have lost hope of one day owning a home. What will you do to ensure that in multiple offer situations for properties, youngsters aren't outbid by older Jamaicans with much more to offer?
Firstly, thank you for that question. The Jamaica Labour Party has ensured that we focus on our youth. On a general way, we have increased minimum wage, we have increased support for youth, we have specialized in terms of ensuring that our youth are particularly aligned in terms of delivering houses. There's a special allocation under the NHT, and while we increase loan limits and increase the income bands, we've ensured that there's greater access to housing for our youth and for all Jamaicans. Let's be clear. How we have managed the economy is exactly why we now have enough money to increase housing solutions to 34,000 houses and 60,000 more to come. Even the youth who you may define as within poverty lines are being taken care of through the social housing program, which we provided more than 300 and much more to come. For the Jamaica Labour Party administration, housing solutions, housing developments, and the total national development is based on the fact that we have not only been able to save more, but our focus is on increasing economic development completely as a country that has suffered wage freezes, suffered heavy taxes. For 8 years, we've had no new taxes. All of these things have impacted our youth positively. So the youth have more money in their pockets as we also increase the tax threshold. So the youth who are at the entry level are able to present more to the NHT.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Team PNP, your rebuttal.
It's hard to rebut someone who seems not to know what he was saying. So I'll go to the substantive response. The People's National Party manifesto makes it very clear. We have several programs that will make it easier for the average Jamaican, young people in particular, to own their own home. One of which is waiving the requirements for them to be able to pay the closing costs to the amount of $500,000 per person. We will also allow them through the rent-to-own program for those who do not have a payslip or work as barbers or tattoo artists to use their rent in a house built by the NHD. That rent will be converted to a mortgage, and their credit rating will be based on their propensity to continue paying.
Thank you so much. I think we can take a question from the social media. Amoy?
Thanks, Janella. Well, this social media question comes from the Jamaica Environment Trust, JED. They're asking, industrial pollution incidents like the repeated Rio Cobra fish kills continue without meaningful consequences for polluters. What measures will your government put in place to guarantee stronger deterrence?
No secret that as a country, we have not been protecting the environment as we should. The People's National Party is committed to protecting the environment. We will ensure that the body that is charged with the protection of the environment does its work. And so we will have a second look at NEPA. We will make NEPA independent, and we will also create an independent tribunal for NEPA. Apart from that, the environment impact assessment is something that we must look at. The People's National Party is committed to ensuring that the requirement for environment impact assessment is legislated. For us in the People's National Party, we can't talk about the economic development. We cannot talk about community development unless there is the protection of the environment. And we are committed to doing that. We will do this by ensuring that communities are part of the decision-making process when it comes on to environmental issues. And that is why we are committed to signing the Escazú Agreement, which will ensure that there is access to information so people know about development or pollution in their area, that the community has an opportunity to speak and share their views, and certainly that there will be access to justice when environmental rights are breached. That is our commitment from the People's National Party, because time come to protect the environment.
Thank you so much, Team JLP. Your rebuttal.
The People's National Party has never been serious about environmental protection. In their last time at the wicket, they proposed a coal plant to generate electricity in St. Elizabeth. They proposed the development of the logistics hub in the Goat Islands, including saying only Tulika Lizard was over there by the former minister in charge. But beyond that, they have a leader who could not bring himself to vote for the plastic ban when the matter came to the Senate. They have never demonstrated environmental leadership. This government has. It is why at the last time there was a serious industrial incident in the Rio Cobre, this government drew down on a $117 million bond, the single largest consequence for environmental breach in the country's history. It is why this government also passed recent amendments to the NRCA Act that allowed body corporates to be charged upwards of $10 million at a judge's discretion. This government is serious about the environment. We have demonstrated so. We have demonstrated so internationally, and it is why we will continue to lead with new elements of the plastic ban, with amendments to WLPA, with accession to the SPA protocol, and it is why we are recognized as an environmental leader globally.
So we're just getting started. It's now time for a short break, but there will be more when we return.
The general elections debates are presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission. Watch, listen, decide, vote.
Colonel Charles
will depend on the
still
decisions
come up
we
there.
make today.
Concord. I feel the debate, the moderator, the host, are to pull them up on certain blunders. Because Colonel Charles come up there, Concord with 110 bus, new bus. The whole country know by now, so it don't bust up. And then come a debate attack. So, what? They have not realized it, that we realized that the bus them don't knew? No, sir. Colonel Charles wants a new bus. Me shocked. Me shocked. New bus. After all of what we explore and see in the public, them still allow Colonel Charles to come at the debate. Come call the same thing new boss.
At Flow, we understand your
no? Well, you can see that the JLP they must struggle already.
as resilient as you.
Look, just look on them forehead when them answer question, and them a biff and baff all over the place. Where the People's National Party team give you a straightforward, fluent answer, whereas. And Matthew Samoda, the question was in relation to the Rio Cobre. You notice Matthew Samoda detour completely away from that because of them guilt of the two cases where them pulled from the courts. Where Andrew pulled from the courts.
Quality products,
no,
quality
sir.
relationships.
New boss.
We're all pro Jamaica.
New boss.
Working hard, doing good.
Said Colonel Charles.
Future for all.
If you go look at the bus, them a morning again.
Unbeatable spirit runs through us.
Sorry. If you go look back on the bus, them a morning. We have missed something, Jamaica.
This is your reminder on how to
We
buy
have
your
missed something
and confidential.
on them bus.
When you receive your ballot, take
I
a moment
honestly
to read it
thought
carefully.
they
Ballot clearly with an X.
caved in and agreed to us that the buses are old.
Use only the pencil provided. Make sure it is.
But me never know say the same lion
Once you're done,
story.
fold the ballot as instructed and return it to the presiding
The same lion story say,
Your vote is your
the
choice.
JLP them really take
Make
off
your
the fool
mark,
for two.
make it count.
If you want $10,000
The JLP them really take off the fool.
Something nice, something unforgettable.
So theme park are all inclusive.
Listen, you don't understand. Sorry,
Byron, you're not gonna see me in the
I
same
don't understand. Colonel Charles come at the debate on top of the brand new 110 bus and nobody not pull him up on it. So you see the work when you give we a man in now to come back and remind the nation say the bus them don't you they enough for the Colonel Charles.
I'm the coach and I'm the assistant coach.
God, I'm tired.
Your job is to bring the water and keep us hydrated. Matter of fact, where is the water? I've got it, coach.
Them just take with
The general elections debates are presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission in association with Scotiabank. For every future, Kendall, the taste of quality, Flow, NCB, ARC Manufacturing, Water, JN Group, Lasca Foundation, Pan Jamaica Group, Miss Birdie, H&L Homes, and VM Group. Watch, listen, decide, vote.
And welcome back to the social issues debate presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission. We invite you, the public, to send us your questions via direct message on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to Jamaica Debates. Now we invite Romardo Lyons to begin this segment with a question for Team PNP.
Last year, just a little over 1,000 councillors were employed within the public school system. In some cases, one councillor served up to 3 schools. That's one individual to thousands of students. Your 2025 manifesto promises a Jamaican education system that is globally competitive. How do you plan to fix the student-councillor ratio?
Thank you very much for the question. Indeed, it is our intention to ensure that we have an improved education system. The current reality is that it is moving in the wrong direction. In 2015, literacy in Jamaica was 84%. Currently, it's 65%. Indeed, in 2015, 5 subjects, including math and English, was 28%. Currently, it is 19%. In fact, to use mathematics, which the government has recently celebrated, after last year, the minister indicated that it was a critical problem. This year, with much hoopla and celebration, only 9 dege more children passed mathematics. And they said it was a great occurrence. The People's National Party will accept and acknowledge where we are, because in 2015, 14,000 Jamaican children passed mathematics, and in 2025, only 7,826 Jamaican children passed mathematics. This is a part of the malaise that is happening within the education system. What we will do in particular as it relates to guidance counseling is to incorporate and hire more guidance counselors, but also to form the Department of Socialization to utilize not only the guidance counselors, the deans of disciplines, and also the persons who are most familiar with the children, which would be the form teachers. That will expand the number of adults to children ratio and have the guidance counselor be informed by those who are most related to the students.
Team JLP, your rebuttal.
The Jamaica Labour Party believes in our children, and it believes in their social well-being, their mental health, and their support to ensure that they will be their best selves and then become the best productive citizens of Jamaica. We certainly recognize that education is not where it needs to be, and that's why we commissioned the Education Transformation Commission, led by Orlando Patterson. We have set up a plan. We have 30% in. We know what's not measured does not get done. The PNP talks about transformation, but they have never transformed anything in this country. We will ensure under a trend program with more involved parents, more empowered teachers, more involved students.
Thank you so much, Ms.
That our
Kalina
students
Johnson-Smith.
succeed.
Thank you so much. Our next question comes from Natalie, and it is for Team JLP.
As Jamaica seeks to harness the economic potential of large-scale entertainment events, what is your strategy to ensure that these opportunities are balanced with the fundamental rights of motorists and residents to freely move without undue disruption to their lives?
It's no secret that urban planning was lacking for the last 50 years. It's no secret that the heartbeat of Jamaica has been its cultural and entertainment industries. It's no secret that under the leadership of Olivia Babsy Grange, Jamaica has grown from strength to strength in harnessing the power of these awesome industries. In the next term of government, the JLP will ensure that all urban planning for our town centers contemplates and plans for entertainment zones. We have also moved rapidly to ensure we have reserved space for 24-hour event zones. But that is but one part of the parcel. The next component also has to be how you encourage the human capital. But encouraging the human capital has to create the structures that allows young people to see a total future in it. It is why we're proud of the pension scheme that has been introduced for our entertainers, because our young people now know that there's indeed a future. But beyond that, we have structured our tax regimes in a manner that will encourage significant investment in the entertainment sector. We have created the space where those who wish to invest in movies, those who wish to invest in sound, will indeed come to Jamaica. We're not going to throw new funds that we know will indeed trigger new taxes, because that indeed has been the hallmark of the PNP, new taxes.
Thank you so much.
Irene, welcome. You know how long we have called your name long?
Your rebuttal.
Irene, welcome.
Yes, it is no doubt that the orange economy is called orange for a reason. The People's National Party has been central to the development of entertainment in this country. Indeed, the Tools of Trade was introduced by the People's National Party for the extension of benefits to the entertainment industry, so that they too could act as if the manufacturing, farming, and other industries in the importation of their inputs. In addition, it seems that the taxes are not the only things that are being stolen by the Jamaica Labour Party, because the idea for the entertainment zone originated with the People's National Party. What is crazy is that the Jamaica Labour Party believes that the solution is in one single venue, and one single venue cannot solve a problem that exists throughout the entire country. We will ensure appropriate zones and community zones.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. And now, before we go to our social media, Natalie has indicated that she would like to use her first of 2 follow-up questions so that our viewers understand the process. Both questioners have the ability, or they can ask 2 follow-up questions, and both teams have 45 seconds within which to answer the question. Natalie, go ahead.
So I wanted to hear more about the balancing of how do you protect the motorists and the residents who have undue delays and been stuck in traffic for hours in the interim until those zones are designated up and running?
Well, obviously the zones are indeed the long-term strategy, but in the interim, we'll bring all stakeholders together, being the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the municipalities, and the promoters themselves, to ensure that there's adequate parking. We would have instituted many park and ride events for national events, which would have seen significant reductions in traffic. But just to note, the idea for the entertainment zone did not originate with the PNP. It actually originated with Edward Philip George Siaga. And it is this party that has had the strongest relationship with the cultural industries and has put its money by way of investment into these industries. But to be clear, the infrastructure that is required is being invested in by this administration in multiple venues.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuda. Thank you so much. Team PNP, your 45-second rebuttal.
This sounds like the same claim that Edward Siaga also was the originator for the idea of Portmore. That too was a lie. However, what we have recognized is that we can separate the people from the events by partnering with agri-parks to have a section within agri-parks reserved for what we call party town, multi-zones, multi-venue zones that persons can gravitate to and know where entertainment activities are. What we have also recognized is the bias within the Jamaica Labour Party of how entertainment is treated, because large events such as Sumfest has never obeyed the Noise Abatement Act, but all the round robins must obey the Noise Abatement Act. We will ensure equity by allowing for a appropriate approval for extensions that persons can apply for, regardless if you're large or small.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. We now go to social media. Amoy has a question and she will direct it to the respective team.
All right, so to revisit the topic of education, Alpha Media on Instagram is asking, COVID-19 exposed deep gaps in digital access. What are your concrete plans to ensure every Jamaican student has access to reliable internet and digital devices?
And that question goes to Team PNP.
Thank you very much. It is important at this point that we expose what some of the ridiculous approaches have been from the Jamaica Labour Party. They indicate that they have been doing extensive investments in schools. However, with the schools in need of approximately 1,000 students, needing up to 210 megabytes, the highest capacity of those providers is 35 megabytes. Some of those contracts that have been given are incapable to reach even 15 megabytes so that they can officially and can appropriately be utilized. Indeed, having invested over $2 billion in e-books, the newspaper reported that many teachers indicated that the inability to access them in their classes made the e-books ineffective and inefficient. What the People's National Party will do, first of all, is to build out the last mile of fiber so that more persons in the rural spaces can access. Additionally, we understand the pairing of energy with the internet, and by extension, we will also build out the last mile for electricity access using solar implementation. We will use as a school multiplier, force multiplier, teacher multiplier, impact multiplier, the technology through AI, in particular for helping teachers with marking, helping teachers with the lesson planning, and also helping students to access information in appropriate and effective way. So the People's National Party will embrace technology in our schools and expand the reach so that our students can benefit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. Team JLP, your 45-second rebuttal. Your 1 minute 30 rebuttal.
The PNP talks a good talk about technology in schools, but it is the Jamaica Labour Party, through its National Broadband Initiative, that has ensured that more than 700 schools are connected with broadband. And we've made sure that not only are our children at school connected, but we have rolled out more than 380 free public Wi-Fi hotspots that make sure that when children leave school, they're still able to be connected as our teachers. We've handed out more than 200,000 tablets. We've trained our teachers and given them vouchers for tablets and laptops in particular. We're providing digital equipment for classrooms. We're ensuring we've completed an audit of all our labs to ensure that they're provided for with the best technology in rural and urban. So from St. Thomas to Hanover, all our children must have access to the best technology, and location should not determine your education. The Jamaica Labour Party is uplifting education in every corner of Jamaica, and we're continuing to do what the PNP likes to talk about. We are also ensuring that we will provide, I must speak to the matter of the creative villages, that we will be providing 100 of them in our next administration, should the public trust us. We will also be training through our Creative and Cultural Institute, and we will be also providing for creative special economic zones that will create the next generation of jobs.
Thank you so much, Ms. Johnson-Smith. Our next question comes from Romardo, and it goes to Team PNP.
In 2022, the Jamaica Observer exposed the harsh exploitative conditions under which many call center workers work. If elected, what will you do to fix these issues that contradict labor laws in the BPO sector?
You know, the start of that question is an acknowledgement that the provision of modern access to technology, including the internet, including broadband, including fiber optics, began with the liberalization of the telecommunications sector when Philip Powell was a minister with responsibility. My opponents opposite seem to be having an issue putting the correct time frame to the responses. In other words, a seeming disconnect with reality. With respect to the BPO sector, one of the most recent industries facilitated by the technological advancement, there are serious concerns with respect to conditions of work, pay, time off, even sick leave, things that the Jamaican workplace has considered for many years to be a right. These BPO operators, the contractors, are not necessarily from the Jamaican space. So more integration has to be done so that they understand what our labor laws are and what the members of the Jamaican workforce have come to expect, including things such as maternity leave with pay and equal work for women. In the PNP administration led by Mark Golding, we will begin that education process, that integration process, and allow our partners in the BPO to understand the nuances.
Mr. Price. Thank you so much, Mr. Price. Team JLP, your 45-second rebuttal.
Thank you. The BPO sector, like the tourism sector, is offering a significant opportunity for many of our entry-level youngsters to have good jobs that will allow them to be able to get not just revenue, but work experience. And it's important to know that the government not only sees the expansion in the BPO sector, but through the inspectorate at the Ministry of Labor, we ensure to speak to employers and employees and to monitor to make sure that where there are any abuses, we take the necessary steps immediately, whether it is to carry them to court or whether it is to bring to constructive social dialogue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles Jr. We're moving on. Natalie has the next question, and it is to Team JLP.
Jamaicans seeking care at public hospitals continue to face long lines, shortage of medical staff, overcrowding with the difficulty getting a bed if admitted, and long waits for clinic appointments. What is it going to require to improve patient care at public hospitals and other healthcare facilities?
Let me say this. The government takes it very seriously in terms of improving the health infrastructure. We have upgraded 138 of our health centers. We have rebuilt and restructured key hospitals and are starting to construct the regional children and adolescent hospital. And most importantly, in addition to the health infrastructure development, we are and have created 3,000 positions for medical professionals, with 1,000 community aids and 600 scholarships, which means not only better infrastructure for health, but better staffing of professionals who will be able to provide better service to the patients in Jamaica. We take this very seriously, and that is why under this government, we have seen where not only the 138 health centers and the key hospitals, but expansion of NHF, the expansion of the hours and services, all of these providing a comprehensive delivery of service for the people of Jamaica.
It's important to remember that the Jamaica Labour Party inherited a health sector in absolute crisis, where their own opposition spokesperson said that surgeons had to be wearing garbage bags to operate.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kamina Johnson-Smith. PNP, your 45-second rebuttal.
If there's any evidence of the Jamaica Labour Party's failure, it is evident in the health system. Indeed, Cornwall Regional is an excellent example, having moved from $2 billion all the way to $22 billion and still not complete. Mammograms in our public sector is only 2 mammograms in our public sector. And the #1 hospitals in Jamaica, also including our Children's Hospital, does not have an MRI or a CT scan available. Indeed, the number of children that has died neonatals has gone up to 246 over the last 2 years.
The better proof of it is the absence of the Minister of Health at a social issues debate where he should have answered to his appalling track record. He's now been there over the economic debate.
Thank you so much, Mr. Price. We take a question now from our social media editor, Amoy.
Thanks, Janella. Well, this question comes from Nita's Funeral Home. They're asking, funeral homes contribute significantly to Jamaica's economy, yet the industry remains largely under-regulated and under-supported. How do you plan to formalize the industry, ensure proper insurance options for families, and use the sector's contributions to expand opportunities such as national scholarships for Jamaicans?
Okay, just to explain to our viewers, both teams have equal times to respond to the social media questions. Team PNP, you go first.
The issue with the under-regulation of the funeral home sector first came to light during the advance of the COVID pandemic, when there was a lot of misinformation and a lack of information as to whether or not post-mortem there could be a transmission of the COVID virus. As a matter of fact, that process opened the potential, the possibility for any administration in office to have formalized and put in place structures and protocols that would have given ease to the professionals working in the industry and the family members of the deceased. What now needs to happen is for a recognition that this is a sector that is a critical part of the Jamaican social space, an adjunct, if you will, of public health, and the utter absence of any form of regulation, despite 9 years of unbroken representation by the Jamaica Labour Party as a head of government, is yet another indication of people who claim to know what they're doing, but still at the end of a 9th year, going into a 10th year, are having difficulties with a manifesto to explain not only what they've done in the past, but what they intend to do in the future. When PNP is in office, we can guarantee to the public that those regulations will be in place.
Okay, Team JLP, your response?
The issue with the lack of regulation in the funeral home sector came to public attention in 2014 when the funeral homes with contracts with the government for paupers' burials were not being paid. That is when the issue came to mind, or rather came to public attention. The reality is the sector is indeed lacking sufficient regulation. However, we have moved forward to bring the Ministry of National Security and indeed the Ministry of Health to form a working group to address this very issue. And there are many elements to it. One such element is the fact that the industry was operating without a proper public autopsy suite. This government, under Horace Chang's leadership at the Ministry of National Security, built the first public autopsy suite at a cost of $700 million, clearing one element that creates a significant backlog in this area. But lest we forget, the PNP has no credibility in the management of the health sector. Under Fenton Ferguson, every single Jamaican watching this debate tonight suffered the effects of Chick V. We suffered the effects of his failure to deal with vector management. Lest we forget that the then leader of the JMDA, your current spokesperson of the ministry related to health, said it was the worst management he had seen. He said doctors were using garbage bags. So people died because of the PNP's failure. Lest we forget.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuda. It's now time for another break, but we will have more when we return.
The general elections debates are presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission.
Globalists, how is it going so far? They under pressure, you know. Just look on how them forehead wrinkle, how their head down, how them a stutter, how them just so totally confused. No, sir. The sorry for the JLP, I could never be a Labour, right? But Matthew Samuda is saying the problem was identified in 2014, 2 years before they came to government. They've been in government for 9 years now, and them still not address the issue.
We make today at the Scotia Jamaica Foundation.
Trust me, JLP, if you go home, because them now make no sense. I mean, before they're done, somebody pick up Colonel Charles and the whole bus them.
Individuals and organizations, we are revitalizing.
Somebody pick up Colonel Charles and the whole bus for Colonel Charles. Come at the debate. Come call new boss. But the PNP, them the Labour right, them to go home. They now make no sense.
Understand your rhythm.
They are struggling.
That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you.
me glad me change from Labour right Rennie Nicholson. Because we couldn't take that embarrassment under the Andrew Holness regime. God knows.
And our commitment is to keep
Andrew Holness is the most embarrassing Labour right.
no matter what.
But they must struggle. They are struggling tonight.
We love our country. Like you, we
They
take
are
pride in
struggling
building
big
Jamaica.
time.
The resilience of our people is cemented in our products, built to last
If
for
Dr. Topton is
generations,
there tonight,
laying the foundation for thriving communities.
that time you
We're
don't hear lies
committed
and
to excellence
spins.
and quality. Quality products, quality relationships. We're all proud
Look,
Jamaicans.
so far the PNP win the debate already. I mean, just the whole JLP I got bounced up because
That same unbeatable
I'm
spirit
expecting them
runs
to
through
stay
us.
on the same
We
trajectory that
are
they're on for tonight.
manufacturing made
Failure
of
of everything they do.
If you want $10,000 to spend this summer, what would you spend
Look,
it on? Something nice?
No,
Something
the blogger
unforgettable?
So theme park are all inclusive.
in this debate.
Tywin, you're not gonna see me in the same outfit twice.
Mommy, I got it covered. Tuition, everything, masters, here I come.
Invest in your future and celebrate while you're at it. Promotion ends September 14th. Conditions apply.
Team, we need to pass the ball quicker. Much quicker. And you need to make sure you too. I'm the coach. And I'm the assistant coach. No. Your job is to bring the water and keep us hydrated. Matter of fact, where's the water? I've got it, coach.
Hold on, Jamaica. Let me just this sound like a waste of time. No, the Liberal them are definitely waste of time tonight. Let's go back to the debate.
In association with Scotiabank for every future. Kendall, the taste of quality. Flow, NCB, Arc Manufacturing, Water, JN Group, Lasco Foundation, Pan Jamaica Group, Miss Birdie, H&L Homes, and VM Group. Watch, listen, decide, vote.
Welcome back to the social issues debate presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission. We invite you, the public, to send us your questions via direct message on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to Jamaica Debates. We now ask Natalie Campbell to start this segment with a question for Team PNP.
Good evening again. If elected, what are the top 3 policy or reforms your government would prioritize during its first few days or weeks in office?
The People's National Party, Damien, will ensure that every decision we make has the people at the center. To start that off, we will, take a look at the health center. The Jamaica Labour Party will have you believe that they're serious about health. Tell that to a mother who've lost her child at the hospital. Tell that to patients who go to the hospital and can't find water in our restrooms. And you're serious about hospitals? You must be joking. The People's National Party will, prioritize our health service. The second thing that we will do is to ensure that education, that there's access to education for all our children. We will do this through the provision, Damien, of 1 meal per day for each child. But we'll also make sure that transportation, which is one of the major issues preventing our children from going to school, is dealt with. And when we're talking about transportation, we're not talking about some 10-hour bus. We're talking about transportation that is effective, reliable, and can transport our children in peace, where parents can feel comfortable.
Additionally, Sophia, we will immediately give the First in the Family scholarship to those persons that are in school currently at the university, as long as they're the first in the family. Also, we will ensure that ownership improves by making sure that squatting communities are reviewed under the POSHA program and open all the home ownership plans to our persons through rent to own.
Thank you so much. JLP, your 45-second rebuttal.
That convoluted response will require a supplementary estimate being tabled in the House of Representatives for a budgetary contemplation. The PNP does not have a structured set of policies ready for Jamaica, which is why they're not ready for government. The Jamaica Labour Party, in its next term, will continue to pursue peace, productivity, and indeed prosperity. Ultimately, the Jamaican people are happy with our suite of achievements. You see, we have cut poverty. We have cut unemployment. We have grown the economy. We have invested in infrastructure. And that is why the Jamaica Labour Party will indeed be returned to government.
Thank you, Mr. Samuda. Ramardo has the next question, and it will be directed to Team JLP.
Roughly 10,000 students graduate annually from Jamaica's top 4 universities. Majority are young professionals. They were taught to go to school, get subjects, go to university, and then get a job. Many follow those instructions and end up repaying student loans for years, struggling to save money. With another term, what will you do to ensure in your first year that more educated youth can have a taste of prosperity?
The Jamaica Labour Party believes in our young people, and this is why we've already reduced interest rates at Student Loan Bureau. We've removed the requirement for guarantors, again, taking away the barriers. And in our next term, we'll not only institute the new policy wherein students can have access to a loan which covers not only tuition, but accommodation, books, laptops, and food, living expenses. More importantly, of course, as we touch on the issue of debt, we know that our young people sometimes get thrown a curveball by life. That's why the Jamaica Labour Party is not only going to expand the moratorium, which already exists, but we will institute the student loan debt reset. Under that policy, we will be waiving for all delinquent accounts 100% of penalties, 100% of interest, 100% of insurance charges, and 50% of interest arrears, ensuring a fresh start for those who just have had life take a wrong turn. For those who are in good standing, they'll be rewarded for their responsibility and, of course, encouraged to continue in their good efforts. And they will get a credit to their account of $100,000 per account in good standing. Those who, of course, are at the cusp of closing out their accounts, we will pay up to the amount required to close. This is us not talking, but acting.
Thank
as
you
always.
so much, Ms. Kamina Johnson-Smith, PNP, your 45-second rebuttal.
The People's National Party will ensure that our young people not just dream, but have a chance of being the best they can be. So what are we going to do? One, we're going to make sure that there is $1 billion available so that they can get $500,000 towards their deposit. Secondly, what we are going to do is to have what we call a forgiveness, a graduated forgiveness of students' loan. So for every year that you work in the public service, your students' loan payment will be discounted. And we understand that sometimes you leave university and you simply just can't get a job. The present system says you must still pay your students' loan. We are saying no, an end to that.
Thank you so much. We go to social media, who has a question which will be answered first by Team JLP and then Team PNP. A reminder that both teams have the same amount of time to respond to that question. Amoy?
Thanks, Janella. This question comes from Kimmy on Instagram. There's been criticism of the government's 300% wage increase and delayed salary increase to civil servants. If selected to form the next government, how do you plan on making civil servant salaries equally as attractive?
The Jamaica Labour Party has been responsible for the largest increase to public sector wages in the history of independent Jamaica. Do we want to be able to pay more? Absolutely. And we're committed to ensuring that we work with all stakeholders to ensure fiscal stability, to ensure the health of the economy, so all workers can be paid fairly without destabilizing the economy. We certainly are committed to engaging in fora, including the Partnership for Prosperity, as well as the negotiating mechanisms which are currently at play. We understand the concerns of cost of living, which concern each and every family, and we are committed to always doing our best within the affordability of our economy to do the best by our public servants.
No, so let's forget. When the salaries for parliamentarians were announced the opposition spokesperson on finance got up and said he had no objection, only to cut off at the knees by the leader of the opposition the next day. It's not the first time the leader of opposition has cut off one of his spokespersons at the knees. He has cut off Senator Crawford at the knees when he proposed an additional 2 hours for schools and an additional tax to fund education. This is a common pattern with them. But the opposition will not roll back parliamentary salaries because they support it.
Thank
and
you
they
so
sat
much,
on the
Mr.
commission to
Samuda.
determine them.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuda. Team PNP, your response.
I will answer Mr. Samuda on the platform, but today I'm focusing on the people. Let us look at what happened with our teachers. The government is currently ranked by the Prime Minister and the ministers as the highest in the Caribbean. Our teachers are ranked 6th or 7th in the Caribbean. Under the People's National Party, when we did our restructuring, the teachers were placed at 80% of market. Under the JLP, when they did their restructuring, the teachers are now propped at 50% of market. Additionally, the teachers were bamboozled into believing that their allowances would have been considered. But the JLP removed all the teachers' allowances and gave them a simple raise, in some cases of 12%, while they took 300%. What is evident from how it was handled is that the JLP is not a party of equity. They didn't treat all persons in the same. And as their former Minister of Finance suggested, that if it was to keep the best, they would have to raise their salaries. No wonder we're seeing so many teachers leaving our classroom because of the inefficient treatment from the Jamaica Labour Party. Teachers, nurses, and the public sector will know that they have a listening ear and a reasonable negotiator whenever we get into power. And one thing we can guarantee is that we don't believe they're worth zero, as the Jamaica Labour Party has suggested. 0% raise suggests that the teachers are worth nothing. The police are doing a wonderful job, the teachers are doing an excellent job, the nurses are doing a wonderful job, and we will ensure equity in treatment as we treat ourselves.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. We're going to take another question from social media. Amoy?
This one is from Joel. Many Jamaicans are concerned about the limited access to beaches and the costs that apply to them. What measures will you put in place to ensure that Jamaicans have greater access to their beaches?
Team PNP, you get to respond to this question first.
Over the last 9 years, there have been countless situations, Miami Bay Beach, Bob Marley Beach, where Jamaicans have been denied the right of access to beaches. For us in the People's National Party, right access to beach is not an option, it is a right. And because of that, we will ensure that all Jamaicans have access to our beaches. We have done it before. In our last administration, we spent over $12 billion rehabilitating Winifred Beach, Prairie Beach. We've done it already, we're going to do it again. So what are we going to do now? We are going to ensure that the provisions in the Beach Access Act come to life. And where the amendment needs to be made, we're going to do that. What we're going to do as well is going to ensure that we work with all our tourism partners, all our private investors, so they understand that access to beach is a right for all Jamaicans. Thirdly, what we will do is to ensure that we rehabilitate beaches so that persons, when they come to beach, whether they're fishermen or they come for relaxation, that they can do it in dignity. Because for the People's National Party, access to our beaches is not just something you do. It is a matter of justice, and it is a right. And we commit that we will have access to beaches.
Thank you so much. Team JLP, your response.
The people of St. James know that all that was just said is a farce. When the People's National Party took away Cornwall Beach from the people of St. James, they did so without a care in the world. It is this administration that built the Harmony Beach Park over Dump Up Beach to give the people of St. James back beach access. It is this administration that will genuinely renovate the Prairie Beach in St. Ann. I'm not sure what was referred to as a renovation because that's a joke. It is this administration that will ensure that the Padgy Beach and indeed the Boston Bay Beach in Portland will be returned to the people of Jamaica. There isn't a Beach Access Act, as was mentioned, but there is the Beach Control Act. This administration will indeed, at the first sitting of the new parliament, table the beach access policy, which will guarantee windows to the sea being maintained, corridors to the sea being a facet of development approvals, as we have recently done through NEPA with hotel approvals in Trelawney and in the Grill, where there are corridors built by the hotels to facilitate access for citizens. You see, our policy is important, but beach access cannot just be words. It has to be investment in beaches like the Harmony Beach Park. It has to be corridors to the sea, as we have indeed insisted upon through our approval process, through NEPA, in Trelawney, in the Grill, and more to come.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuda. Thank you so much. We will now take a short break and invite you to stay tuned.
The general elections debates are presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission. Watch, listen, decide.
Them just not make no sense.
Tomorrow's success will
Why is Matthew Samuda so angry?
Today. At the Scotia
Why is there
Jamaica
such an
Foundation,
angry look on Matthew
the
Samuda?
well-being of our nation is more than a choice. It's a heartfelt promise to the communities we serve. By empowering individuals and organizations, we are revitalizing communities and creating a more sustainable world for every future.
Good night, Ivan Johnson. How are you? Kate M, how you do? Ivan Riley. Matthew Samuda brown knitted because he's under pressure. Because they come to tell the same old lies. Michael Nepper, how you do? Them come to tell the same old lies that them tell all the time.
That's why we're
Denise,
dedicated to
how are
building
you?
a network as
There's
resilient as
nothing
you.
really new.
With a team of familiar
At the
faces
James,
working
Wagwan.
every day to keep you on beat.
Nothing new coming from them.
You're at the heart of everything we do. And our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing.
But I'm still waiting for somebody to pick up Pernell Charles. Makeba, how are you?
We love our country.
I'm still waiting for somebody to pick up Pernell Charles on the old bus where Pernell Charles come at the debate con call new bus.
Generations.
Or just we over here so hear about it.
Thriving communities. We're committed to excellence and quality.
But somebody ought to pick up Pernell Charles and that because when you come at debate, can't tell them blatant lie there. But everything they must say a lie anyway, but that one you have to play it.
That same unbeatable spirit runs through us. We are Arc Manufacturing, made of Jamaica.
Chronicles, how are you? JLP had dodged everything tonight. They come to read Vernon Adams. How you do?
For every future. Kendall, the taste
Let's
of
go
quality.
back over to the national debate.
Manufacturing, Water, JN Group, Lasco Foundation, Pan Jamaica Group, Miss Birdie, H&L Homes, and VM Group. See the two major political parties debate national issues live August 26 and 28 at 9 p.m. It's a political must-see. Don't miss the general elections debates presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission. Watch, listen, decide, vote.
If you want $10,000 to spend this summer, what would you spend it on? Something nice? Something unforgettable?
So theme park are all inclusive.
Ask the experts. Tywin, you're not gonna see me in the same outfit twice.
Mommy, I got it covered. Tuition, everything, masters, here I come.
A lot of
Invest
people
in
are
your future
covering
and
from
celebrate while you're at
Hey,
it.
Robert.
Promotion ends September 14th.
I'm
Conditions
covering
apply.
from the Jamaica.
Okay, we need to pass the ball quicker, much quicker. And you need to make sure too. I'm the coach, and I'm the assistant coach. No, your job is to bring the water and keep us hydrated.
The debating commission
Where's the water?
is sponsored by Scotia Bank, NCB, and all of that. So they have to be paying all of the for their
The general elections debates are presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission in association with Scotiabank for every future. Kendall, the taste of quality. Blue, NCB, Arc Manufacturing, Water, JN Group, Lasco Foundation, Pan Jamaica Group, Miss Birdie, H&L Homes, and VM Group. Watch, listen, decide, vote.
Welcome back to the social issues debate presented by the Jamaica Debates Commission. We invite you, the public, to send us your questions via direct message on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to Jamaica Debates. We invite Romardo Lyons to start this final segment with a question for Team JLP.
A digital Jamaica where technology is woven into the fabric of business and everyday activities. That's what you promised in your 2020 manifesto. But today, there are residents in Swamp Road, St. Thomas, putting phones in trees to make calls and to get reception. Why are so many Jamaicans in rural parishes still behind technologically?
That's an excellent question. Much progress has been made in respect of digital transformation. The National Broadband Initiative has connected over 700 government institutions across the country and has also been seeking to connect our police stations or courthouses or schools and other institutions as a matter of priority as the base. We've also been seeking to encourage competition in the environment, in this sector, to ensure greater investment and greater rollout of fiber optics, of satellite technology, as well as Wi-Fi internet connections. The Jamaica Labour Party believes in technology facilitating business. It's why we ensure that now you can pay your taxes online, you can apply for your e-motor vehicle registration certificate, and in a new administration, we will do even more. We will ensure that there is the task force to ensure efficiency and innovation, not only in the public sector, but beyond. We will not only set up the task force, but we will allow a portal for private citizens to make suggestions with incentives and prizes to ensure that they feel a part of the process where they see that systems can be improved. The Jamaica Labour Party has already built efficiencies that have helped this economy to grow, that have helped with youth and regular unemployment, and we will do more.
Thank you so much, Team JLP, Team PNP, your 45-second rebuttal.
First, you keep mentioning about policies to make the economy grow, and after 9 years, you're still growing at under 1% per annum. The question mentioned difficulties of persons in rural Jamaica having access to telecommunications services. Perhaps because you said from St. Thomas to Hanover, what is your fundamental problem with Westmoreland and the other parishes why you think that only St. Thomas to Hanover needs quality access to broadband? But you know, the greater tragedy is that you're talking about task force for what you are going to do in the next administration. We are waiting on the task force for why you didn't get it done in the last 9 years.
Thank you so much, Mr. Price. Romardo has indicated that he would like to use one of his follow-up questions. Romardo, just a reminder to both teams, you have 45 seconds to respond. Team JLP, you first. Romardo.
Your government has repeatedly said that education is a priority. Now, the technological issue in the rural parishes aren't just for residents. Schools are also affected. Just this year, a smart lab was opened in St. Aloysius Primary School on Duke Street in Kingston. When will schools in rural parishes start to feel included in this technological push?
They should feel it very soon. As a matter of fact, they'll feel it in this new school year. Procurement is already underway. We not only have had new contracts engaged with contractors to roll out more connections, but we are also investing in equipment, which is already in procurement to ensure that our labs are equipped in rural schools as well as in urban schools. We believe fundamentally in ensuring that regardless of where you live in Jamaica, you must have access to the best education, and you will have it in the next administration. As a matter of fact, starting in this new school year.
Thank you so much, Team JLP. Team PNP, your 45-second rebuttal.
The JLP is certainly an enemy of the truth. Indeed, we have heard them suggest that 200,000 laptops were purchased. That would indicate 2-to-1 ratio, meaning for every 2 children, 1 should have a laptop. I'm asking those watching today, have your child received a laptop? Have you seen anyone receive such a laptop? Indeed, whoever is responsible for purchasing these missing laptops will have to answer under the People's National Party, because we have not seen those laptops. We will ensure that the gadgets are in place, but as we've said before, we build out the last mile that many of the private sector believe is not profitable to build out, so that the persons can get access to internet wherever they are. We will use that technology also for the small schools.
Thank
to
you,
have
Mr.
better
Crawford.
usage.
Thank you so much, Mr. Crawford. Natalie has the next question, and it goes to Team PNP.
We are in the hurricane season, and each season the authorities face a challenge persuading residents to evacuate some areas when the island is under threat. What strategies would you implement to ensure compliance?
Part of the reason why residents don't want to evacuate is that the poor level of communication and education prior to a storm causes them to be caught unaware. Let's take, for example, this instant year, 2025. All across media, we have heard advertisements from the Office of the Prime Minister with sections of budget presentations, and we are midway the Atlantic hurricane season, and not once has ODPEM been given the resources that OPM has for its parallel adjacent political campaign under the guise of public education. The second reason why residents do not want to evacuate is because they are realistically concerned that when they evacuate, the spaces that they're taken to will be substandard. In the next PNP administration, we will build out a series of evacuation centers that will be properly fitted with adequate water for on-site storage, as well as food and access to health, access to other emergency services, so that families feel more safe in bringing their elderly relatives into a space where they are certain that the services and the quality of standard will be there when they evacuate.
Thank you so much. Team JLP, your 45-second rebuttal.
It is clear to us on Team JLP that Raymond is fluent in misdirection, misinformation, and clearly not paying attention to the news of the day. It is the JLP that would have just completed and launched its own Doppler radar, meaning we're no longer depending on foreign sources for our weather forecasting needs. It means this government, the next administration under Andrew Michael Holness, will have accurate information on time and be able to communicate it so to you at home. We're also working with the United Nations CDF program to build modern and safe shelters for you at home, so you can trust the information and trust where you're going to go and be safe during the hurricane season.
Thank you so much, Team JLP. We go to Amoy now, who has a question from social media. Amoy?
All right, so this question comes from Tayana on Instagram. She says, Jamaica's hospitals are overcrowded and under-resourced. Can you explain how your party, if elected to government, will fix this without repeating the delays and bottlenecks of past administrations?
Okay, thank you so much, Amoy. Team PNP, you can answer this question first, to be followed by Team JLP.
So this is a social issues debate, and health is a primary social issue. If you look across to the opposite, the campaign chairman from that party, who has been the Minister of Health for 9 years, must have suspected that members of the public would want to drill down, shall I say, into why the health sector is so poorly managed, why your relatives at home, when you go to the hospital, can't get a bed, why you have to take the prescription from the nurse beside your relative's bed and go into the private pharmacy sector to purchase basic medication, why you have relatives sitting in wheelchairs or in the driveways and the parking lots in the cars that you took them to the hospital with and still can't get triage, even basic assessment as to the extent of their suffering. It's no wonder, Dr. Tufton, you're not here today. You have chosen to go and hide behind marketing strategies to support what's her name again? The pro-box, the Minister of Finance and the Public Services. The People's National Party, Matthew, understands health. We are the ones that modernize the hospitals on the budget and in time. Your reference to Chick V is old and dated. Look at your 9 years and speak to those.
Thank you so much, Team PNP. Team JLP, your response to the question?
Thank you, Tiana. It's a really important question because I know that we have not reached every community and we have not reached every hospital yet. But the Jamaica Labour Party is undertaking the most ambitious and in fact will be the most effective reconstruction and construction of hospital infrastructure in Jamaica in decades. The Western Child Hospital is under construction, close to completion. The rebuild of Cornwall is also almost completed. We're making sure that we focus also on primary health care, making sure that more health centers are renovated and brought closer to you so you don't actually have to go to the hospital. We're adding more doctors and nurses in those healthcare centers, more equipment so that better care can be had closer to you. We're adding more healthcare centers with expanded hours to allow working people to go to the health center after working hours. These are things that we're doing in addition to more operating theaters, which are already programmed for next year, for next term, including a new KPH.
Importantly, we've also increased access to medicines under NHF. And we've increased access for our senior citizens through NI Gold and JDIP. Under the Jamaica Labour Party, we have taken a comprehensive approach to health infrastructure.
Thank you so much, Team JLP. We have another social media question. Mike?
This one is from Matthew Williams. With key parts of the Data Protection Act still not in force and several major data breaches reported this year, many Jamaicans feel their personal information is not adequately protected. How will your government address this growing privacy crisis and rebuild public trust in the protection of citizens' data?
Team JLP, you get to answer this one first.
Data protection is critical as we continue to build out more and more digital systems to ensure efficiency and effectiveness in the pursuit of business, growth, and prosperity. And this is why we have been paying attention to ensuring that implementation of the Act is phased and sensitive to the various stakeholders, ensuring that it's effective when each stage is put in place. We have done more to protect your data and will do more. As we recognize that AI is also being used more, we will ensure that there is an AI blueprint and roadmap, which of course is going to be built out of the very first task force on AI in the Caribbean, which was already established under this administration. We'll also ensure that there's new legislation to protect every Jamaican's face, voice, and image from the type of misinformation and negative campaigns that are run by parties like the PNP.
The Data Protection Act was indeed passed by the Jamaica Labour Party. And we're proud that it was passed, and we're happy that the Data Commissioner is now in place to speed up implementation. However, data requires data accuracy. It should be known for all Jamaicans watching that it is this government that gave the highest increase to civil servants. It is this government that insisted that there would be no more wage freezes for teachers, as was commonplace under the People's National Party.
Thank you so much, Team JLP. Team PNP, your response to the question?
The Jamaica Labour Party does not believe in privacy. It was one of their own minister that says nothing is private. Do you remember? Because I certainly do. But not only that, when one considers the NIDS Act, the National Identification Act, the People's National Party, representing the people of Jamaica, had to take the Jamaica Labour Party to court to protect privacy rights. So the Jamaica Labour Party simply cannot come to you tonight to tell you that they're serious about privacy. Simply not true. The People's National Party, we value your privacy. And it is for that reason why we will trade a cadre of data protection experts to work with different sectors so they understand what is in the law, they understand what is to be done, and how they can balance privacy rights. In fact, this will also create a new sector in Jamaica. Damian, don't you agree?
I definitely do agree, Sophia. But also we should remind the public that it was this Prime Minister that suggested that they can track persons who say certain things on social media. It is also this Prime Minister that has proven himself to be highly vindictive and have seen arrest of individuals who have criticized him in any way at any given time. It is also that government that stole sand from the beaches. So let us talk about what that government has done.
Thank you so much, Team PNP. So viewers, we're doing things a little different this evening. We now invite Team PNP to ask a question of Team JLP.
In any decent democracy, where a leader has not been certified by the Integrity Commission, where the leader has been a part of Ponzi schemes and benefited from them, where the leader among members of his cabinet or his party are said to be part of an illicit aid for illegal enrichment, those persons could not be on the ballot. Therefore, why should Jamaica be any different from such decent democracies?
The PNP, we understand, has no answer to the plans, the programs, and the achievements of the Jamaica Labour Party. They see their only path to Jamaica House by trying to destroy the reputation of the Prime Minister of Jamaica and others. The Jamaica Labour Party has been the party that has done more for the integrity and anti-corruption framework in this country than any other administration. It is under the PNP that every day, every week you woke up to a new scandal, light bulb, Solutria, NSWMA, Manchester Parish Council, Hanover, KSAMC, you name it, Crook and Anchor. It is under the PNP that Jamaica had the lowest scores under the Corruption Perception Index. And it is under the Jamaica Labour Party that Jamaica has had the highest. Why? Because the independent international experts actually look at the facts and not the steady drumbeat of PNP misinformation and weaponization of processes. There is no report that has found any finding of guilt or illegality on the part of the Prime Minister. There is no finding against the Prime Minister, and the PNP needs to stop telling the lie of 28 bank accounts. It is simply not true.
Thank you so much, Team JLP. Team PNP, your 45-second rebuttal.
It's odd that you say that's not true. Dennis Chung said that not only were it true, that it's inconsequential, that it's normal, he suggested, just as we now figure out he was rehearsing for the job for which the qualifications were waived so that he could get the job. Most of you look for a job. In that case, the job seemed to have looked for and found him. Now, the other things you say about doing the most for the integrity framework, that includes being the only Prime Minister to have taken the Integrity Commission to court to quash a clause he once bragged that he included as chairman of cabinet. So the lies are on that side, aren't they?
Thank you so much, Team PNP. We now invite Team JLP to ask a question of Team PNP.
You know, lies are an affront to God.
Yeah.
And Reverend Albert would have taught you that.
Shut up.
However, to be clear, the last time the People's National Party was at the wicket, they leveled $60 billion of new taxes on the backs of the Jamaican people. They have said that they will fix a tax to imported food items, which economists have said will increase the cost of living to the poor of Jamaica. Damian has said that he will fund education needs with an increase in GCT. The PNP have fixed a tax to parties. What should the Jamaican people expect by way of taxation from the next People's National Party administration 10, 20 years from now.
Can I go ahead?
Team PNP,
Okay, thank
please
you.
answer the question.
Thank you. Well, the People's National Party had to take on a rebuilding project in the last Portia Simpson Miller administration. Indeed, never before had the IMF stopped sending money to the Jamaica public or to the Jamaican society before, because it was run asunder by a government that included Andrew Holness and also Audley Shaw as the head of the Ministry of Finance. The People's National Party, then having rebuilt the economy, embarked upon a fiscal policy rules that we implemented to ensure that the country was on the right track. And having put the country on the right track, there's absolutely no need for the People's National Party to engage in further taxations. Indeed, what exists currently as the People's National Party proposals lie greatly within the context of the $360 billion available for governments to decide on what to do. But the $23 billion that we have identified is even less than the overrun for Cornwall Regional. We will therefore not have those overruns. The JLP continue to ask where we'll get the money. We will get the money from the same place that Market Me money came from. We'll get the same money from the same place that paying off Ramsharak from Petrojam came from. We'll get the money from the same place that the buying of 200 used cars that we did not receive come from. We will get the money from the same budget that exists for the people.
Thank you so much, Team PNP. Team JLP, your rebuttal.
No doubt you'll get this money from the same place that the failed Heroes Circle wall came from. But it is simply inaccurate to suggest that the international community cut off Jamaica. We were able to draw down on loans from the World Bank and the IDB right before we demitted office. But to be clear, it is this government that has cut debt to 62% of GDP. It is this government that has cut poverty rates to its lowest ever.
No, you have
It
not.
is this government that has ensured that the unemployment rate has gone to record lows of 3.3%.
You have not
There is
created
work to do.
job incentives
There
yet.
is no doubt that there is improvements to be made in sectors. However, this government has the credibility to do it and will do so in the next
Thank
term.
you so much, Team JLP. Ladies and gentlemen, we now go to the closing statements. And based on the earlier coin toss decision, Team JLP will go first. And you can begin your 2 minutes.
My fellow Jamaicans, Jamaica is safer and stronger with the JLP. We reduced murders by 43%, created 250,000 jobs, and we delivered the largest increase in the minimum wage in our history. We gave our doctors, nurses, teachers, police, and other public sector officers the largest pay increase, despite COVID, Hurricane Beryl, droughts, and global uncertainty. And remember, for 8 consecutive years, we did this without any burden of new taxes on you, the Jamaican people. Now we know that prices are rising globally. And that is why we're not just focused on increasing wages, but rather creating better conditions for growth. 33 quarters of growth, save and except for COVID. And still giving support to the most vulnerable. This is the JLP way. We care. Now compare. Under the PMP, wage freezes, heavy taxes, no relief of social pension for Miss Ivy, no relief for the vendor, the taxi operator, the housekeeper, just tax after tax after tax. And we heard Damien and Dayton already talking about taxes. So are you really willing to suffer the indignity of more taxes under the PMP? No way. With the Jamaica Labour Party, increased pension, better agriculture, better health infrastructure, enhanced education. This is our commitment. That's why we say to you, reject the reckless PMP promises. Choose performance. Choose Jamaica. Choose the JLP. The Jamaica Labour Party delivers, and we are committed to doing even more for you. On September 3, remember, put your X beside the bell.
Thank you so much, Team JLP. Team PNP, please go ahead with your closing statements.
One thing you could not have said is spell Jamaica, because we already know you can't.
Shut up!
Jamaica has evolved to be one of the world's most recognized brands globally. Yet too many members of the Jamaican family live in standards and conditions that are, simply put, deplorable. On September 3, 2025, we all have an opportunity to put in office a government led by Mark Golding that places the people of the country and every member of the Jamaican family at the center of our policies and programs. In that Jamaica, imagine that you have become unwell and you go to the hospital and there are beds, there are CAT scans, there are MRIs, there is medication and tools to save your lives available right there in the hospital. In that Jamaica, our nurses, teachers, firefighters, and police officers have not just better tools to do their jobs professionally, but also better conditions of work and better salaries with overtime benefits not taxed. In that Jamaica, whether you're up on the corner as a youth, or you're working in a salon as a nail technician or a barber, or a deal with the eyelashes or tattoos, your Jamaica becomes not just the land of your birth, but the land in which your dreams can be achieved within your lifetimes. In the Jamaica led by Mark Golding, more affordable houses will be provided so that mothers and fathers can better care for and protect the members of their own family. On September 3, it's not just about a regular election. It is about creating a Jamaica that you at home can love and be a part of the national success that will be gained. Vote PNP on September 3.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much to both our teams. Now, in the good spirit of the debates, we now invite both teams to shake hands. And as they do so, I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our first debate between Pernell Charles Jr. of the JLP, Kamina Johnson-Smith, and Matthew Samuda for Team JLP, and Damian Crawford, Sophia Fraser-Binns, and Raymond Price for the People's National Party. Join us again Tuesday, August 26th at 9 p.m. for the debate focusing on the economy, which for the first time will be a team debate between Team JLP and Team PNP. Audience, you can clap now. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks to our production and funding partners, and most of all, our viewers and listeners all across Jamaica and the diaspora. I'm Janella Precious. Good night.
There was just no competition tonight. They were used to wipe the floor with the People's National Party team. But it's 4:30 in the morning in the United Kingdom, and I need to go to sleep. What a biff bath. What a biff bath the PNP used them with. The PNP obviously won. The Jamaica Labour Party have not answered a question. They were angry. They were fumbling. They have not answered a question. But did you expect them to? I certainly didn't expect them to do much other than come with the same old set of mumbo jumbo that the Jamaica Labour Party regularly, they're very defensive and angry. But thank you all very much for joining us tonight on the broadcast of the first leg of the debate. Join us right back here tomorrow when we will broadcast the mass rally in central Jamaica by the People's National Party. thank you very much for being here tonight. Lovely to have your support as always. Join us back tomorrow when we join us back tomorrow when we will continue to carry the People's National Party message. Thank you and good night from Global TV. We'll pick up more on these discussions during the week, but literally, it wasn't a competition.
Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't for me again. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You that chop line and a result to crime. You can't for me again. What we go to eat the money, what you at you in no at you. COVID money, me say we eat the yellow correct you. You say you the money, based on most of my statue. Say me like a catch you, but bigger than a figure you. Take the spit of money, God, and say that is not you. And the head, the man, I'm moving up in my gut, but you must eat in the kitchen, so my fiber like a patu. My singers and DJs and social media's coming at you. It burn me, 300% free. It burn me, garbage pile up the day. It burn me, give the teacher them raise. It burn me, I see corruption fees. It burn me, mash down the people them house. It burn me, every day appear arms out. It burn me, appear money them a thief. It burn me, and them a sell out the beach. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't for me again. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You that chop line and a result to crime. You can't for me again. Probably say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. We already promise it, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth and rubber, they down in our river. Them a bold only and they like them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan, not a hell go mash up. People start not thief when them sell. It burn me. On the tree market man. It burn me. On them a treat the cat man. It burn me. On the treat the peanut man. It burn me. On them a treat the dirt man. It burn me. On them a treat the sword man. It burn me. On them a treat policeman. It burn me. How them a treat soldier man. It burn me. How them a treat everyone. Can't for me again. You can't for me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't for me again.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.